from fearlessdiy.com. Today I'm going to show you how to do a bedside table makeover using chalk paint on the legs and the lower shelf and using liming wax to create a cerused finish on the top. This is an old oak nightstand, and you know that turns orangey after a while, and nobody really likes that orangey color. So we're going to tone it down and change it up and turn the top into a more neutral kind of raw piece of wood, and then it actually looks a little whitewashed as well. And we'll do that with Biriwax liming wax, and I'll show you how I use the chalk paint and a little bit of dark wax to bring out the details of the bottom of the piece. So the first step is to sand this top down just a little bit, because I want to take off that top layer and open up the wood grain just a little bit, because all in this wood grain is where the liming wax, that white wax, is going to go, and that's what's going to make it look so old. You don't actually have to do this part. You can just try to go ahead and put it on and see what happens, but I like it to be just a little bit sanded as well. I mean, you can get really into it, and you can use a wire brush and get the grain open and really make a nice space for the wax to go as well. And then for the chalk paint part, the part I'm going to do the legs down here, I'm also going to sand these just a little bit. I know that the thing about chalk paint is that you're supposed to be able to do no prep work, but if you want good adhesion of your product and you want somewhat decent finish, you have to do a little bit of prep work. And so I'll just lightly sand these and then wipe them down with the tack cloth before I put any new product on. Normally I would use a belt sander or an orbital sander on a project, but I already have to hand sand around the edges here, and this won't take me very long to get this coat lifted off as where I need it to be, because I'm not trying to get every little piece done. In fact, on the edges right here, where I've already sanded a little bit, I'm leaving some of the old stain because I want it to look a little bit old. So you don't have to get every single piece off when you're doing this. I'm using 60 grit to get the top off. So once you've got your workout in, getting this all sanded down like you like, I vacuum off the top and then get a piece of tack cloth to get all of the little particles, and it's this cloth that's impregnated, and it picks up all the little dust and other things that would give you a rougher finish. Now I've just lightly sanded the rest of this part because I want to get off anything that wouldn't allow my paint to adhere. So get your liming wax. I did one from Biriwax. Just get a clean cloth and just do a little bit at a time. Now the thing is, liming wax is not going to be the most durable finish that you can put on a piece of furniture. So I'm going to put a clear wax over top of it just to help it. But the thing is that even with that clear wax, it's not going to be a super durable, finish. So it needs to be, in a guest room like I've got, or on a nightstand in your regular room, or it just needs to be not something that needs to be completely water resistant like that, because this won't stand up to that. Oh, and by the way, it stinks. Not as bad as Bondo or that tubber finishing stuff, but it's potent. nightstand, I decided to use the chalk paint from the Kilz line and just plain white, because everybody can get this at Walmart and it's not crazy expensive. But I'm going to tell you that it doesn't seem to cover as well as I thought it should, especially because it's a Kilz brand. I mean, Kilz primer is awesome, but I just was surprised that it took 3 coats to get the other nightstand like this covered. So I'm still going to use it because I have it, but in the future I don't know that I would go with that one again. I did get the clear and the dark wax from the Kilz line as well that you can get at Walmart, and they worked fine. But I just thought that it should have covered a little bit better, especially when you were paying $17 for a quart of paint. I'd like it to cover. So this is my favorite paintbrush. It's by Wooster. I love it. I love the bristles. I love the size. I use it for edging when I'm painting rooms. I use it for painting furniture. I just love it. As a rule, really light first coat will help you out. You don't want runs and drips and things like that. And don't forget your first coat of any project. Things are going to look worse after the first coat. I mean, they just look terrible. But don't give up hope. Also, when painting something like this, I'm going to paint this next, because when I was trying, I painted both legs once, and then I kept reaching in and kept getting paint all over my arm. If you want to cover this completely with paint, like, you know, have it be completely covered, then you probably need to prime it first, because these old wood pieces have tannins in them, and it can bleed through your paint. So it has a little bit here. I'm going to show you. Let's see if you can see it. Yeah, right there. See that little brown there? So the thing is that I don't mind that. Because I'm going to use dark wax and use it around the details anyway. But if I did, then you'd have to prime this piece first with an actual primer, like an oil-based primer that would keep any bleed through from happening. Okay, let it dry, and then we'll come back and do the second coat, and maybe the third. We'll have to see how it goes this time, and then finish up with our wax. So this is 3 coats of the Kilz chalk paint, and I don't know if you can see, but there are definite areas where it just did not cover after 3 coats. So I don't know that I would use this particular brand again, but since I'm going to use dark wax on it anyway, I guess it didn't really matter. So I use the kilz sealing dark wax, and then I'll use their clear wax for sealing everything once this is dry. So I just take a little bit of the dark wax on a brush, and I'm only using a brush because there's little cracks and crevices that I need to get into here. I just get it on everywhere it needs to be, and I just go real light with it. I don't want to be too heavy-handed. Just have to take more off. And then use a cloth and go back and wipe so that it's really only in the spaces that it naturally would have settled. And I just do small areas at a time. And this is really why I'm using the brush, to get into here. Okay, here we are to do the final step, and I'm using clear wax, and I'm going to use the kilz sealing clear wax. And this is just an extra step to protect your finish. Like I said, wax is not the most durable finish that you've ever had. I mean, it's just not intended for, you know, hard daily use of your kitchen table when you have kiddos. It's meant to help seal in your finish, rub it all in, and then let it dry, and then we'll buff it so it creates a, you know, a nice, just a nice light sheen. And you can add another coat of wax whenever you want.